Well, let's talk election matters now. The People's Democratic Party has challenged the election with the inauguration of a special legal team to challenge the results of last weekend's council polls in the Federal Capital Territory. In a statement by factional National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Ine Ememobong, the party congratulated its winning candidates but alleged irregularities. The party says its legal team would be headed by its national legal advisor, Shafi Barau, and appealed to aggrieved candidates to act promptly. In the outcome of the election, operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission confirmed the arrest of 20 suspects for various electoral offenses. The suspects were arrested across the FCT for alleged vote buying and selling, totaling more than 17.2 million naira. He also mentions that one of the suspects was arrested with a sum of 13.5 million naira in a car parked beside the polling booth in the Kwali local government area. Well, joining me on the news at 10 for more on this is the FCT factional state publicity secretary, Josephine Itoya Splendor. Good to have you join us at this time. In one breath, you're congratulating candidates of your party who won in the council polls. And in another breath, you are contesting the outcome of the elections and filing a suit over irregularities. Help us understand what's happening.
Well, I think I'll start by saying that using the word factional, this thing does not apply in the FCT. And it's not a word I also want to use for the PDP because we may have our internal wranglings, but we are still one PDP. Yeah, it's usually the job of the leaders and the national to decide how we treat issues. But one thing I want to make clear is I think it's about time we stop making the courts a coalition center or a polling unit. Power belongs to the people. The election should be decided at the polls. And for that to happen, INEC has got to up their game and make people feel that they've been given fairness at the polls. So, I mean, with the fact that we have a lot of election itself is expensive, it's also difficult and worrisome to say that every election now has to end in the court. And that's because a lot of people are...
Yeah, but now you're heading to the court yourself. So what's happening?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Going to the court is a decision by the national and the leaders of the party. But I am saying that it's about time we graduate from this this importance we give to courts. The politics and elections are actually made for people, not to be settled in court. People go to vote for their leaders, and when are we going to stop making the courts the ones that now tells you who rules you? We should return power to the people. We should practice real democracy. We should have INEC move up their games to make sure that people actually get satisfaction voting. And for instance, I mean, do you know how much money you're going to have to spend again in courts? And how are we not sure that you're going to get victory? So we should really improve on the entire conduct of the election and stop making the court the other polling unit. It's not a polling unit. Well, we should actually have credible elections.
I hear you, but INEC has certified this election as being free, fair, and balanced, as you may want to call it. And even in carrying out its duties, one of the agencies that works with the EFCC actually confirmed the arrest of some suspects, 20 of them, for alleged vote buying and selling, totaling about 17.2 million naira. And as a matter of fact, one suspect was arrested with a sum of 13.5 million naira cash. So somehow it's as though one is just trying to put INEC in the mix, because your party itself didn't seem to have gone into this election with, in unity. And it's just as though it's sheer luck that you won in Gwagwalada. What's your response to that?
That is very, very wrong. The party went as a part, as a body. Now, we may have had things. Now, listen, there is something that is beginning to evolve that we should look at. Now, the party is an institution, and the party actually went through a process of bringing out candidates. Now, to have a candidate come out to say he's stepping out from the race, it has nothing to do with the party. It's just an individual who is trying to exercise the franchise. We actually came out to inform Nigerians that we are in the race. And you could see that despite the fact that our candidate stepped down in Amak, we actually still came third. So the truth is, the PDP as a brand and a party were ready. We gave everything needed to make our candidates win. Now, whether you like it or not, problems and conflicts are actually part of politics, if you get it, because we are dealing with interest. And so you can't remove conflict from interest. But what we are saying is that we should have umpires. Now, you said something about EFCC arresting some people. We've been hearing that for time, but nobody has heard about anybody being prosecuted. So we are still playing the same game. What I'm saying, we need to evolve. The Nigerian voting system needs to evolve. If we're going to see credible development in this country, our forms of electioneering has got to evolve. And that's why we're still stressing on this real-time transmission of votes. Now, you can imagine a place like the FCT where you have the national INEC conducting elections for locals. You still have almost a 24-hour stretch before you could get some results announced. I mean, and we all know what happens. We know the politics and the politics of the coalition center and of holding back certain results because you want to balance out all of that. So we are still stressing on the need to have this online transmission. We are still calling on INEC. Yes,
I hear you, and when you talk about that, even the National Assembly is in support of that, and the Electoral Act that was actually recently amended, it is still saying the same thing, but also giving INEC the power to decide how exactly, but it has not ruled out the issue of, transmission of the results. And if you would take note also, as at the time the results were being announced, we understand that only about 36% or so of results had actually been uploaded. So there is perhaps a bigger issue at hand. Josephine Itoya Splendor is FCT Fractional State Publicity Secretary. Thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 10.